Hey everyone, welcome back to Endless Money Pits. This is a 2021 Honda CRF300L Rally, and today I'll be giving you my first impressions of this bike. A friend of mine purchased this bike brand new the day this footage was taken. I rode the bike home for him about 30 miles, and then we picked up my CRF500R and went for a longer test ride. When I first saw the bike, I was surprised at how big it was. It looked a little bit smaller in the pictures and videos that we watched, but it's pretty comparable to a full-size dirt bike. Parked side by side, the CRF looks just as big as his CB500X, but at 341 pounds, the CRF is almost 90 pounds lighter. That's good for him because he wants to use the CRF to build his skills off-road instead of risking the 500X. The CRF is not a bike you want to take on the freeway every day, but it wouldn't be impossible. There's enough torque to get you up to speed in a reasonable amount of time, and the 6-speed gearbox has the perfect gear ratios for a mixture of off-road and highway riding, but it just doesn't have much passing power. The top speed we saw for the day was 85 miles per hour, somewhere around 8,000 RPM, but the CRF redlines at 10,500 RPM, so there was some room to spare. I think we can make it breathe a little better with an aftermarket exhaust and an air filter, so we'll probably be installing those in the near future. As a comparison, I owned a Suzuki DRZ 400 for about 6 years, and it had significantly more power than the CRF300L, but it was also a taller bike, which made it difficult to maneuver in certain situations. At 5'9", I'm not all that short, but I dropped it all the time when I was riding off-road. The mirrors on the CRF are a little fuzzy at highway speeds, but they're a good size and they're in a good location. The suspension on the CRF feels particularly soft, which will take some getting used to, but I can see it being very comfortable off-road. Only the preload can be adjusted on the rear shock, and there's no adjustment on the front forks. The brand new knobby tires on this bike felt a little squirmy on the road for the first 60 miles or so, but it seems like they broke in pretty quick and began to feel a lot better. Factory tires aren't usually very good, but we'll see how long they last before replacement is really necessary. The controls and the ergonomics of the CRF are exactly what I expected from Honda. This bike was very easy for me to ride and operate with no practice before we got on the highway. Comfort is fairly good, and the windscreen does add to that, but the seat is not as comfortable as I expected based on some of the other reviews I've seen. It's somewhat stiff and narrow, like a dirt bike seat should be, but my main complaint is the placement of the strap that goes across the seat. The only time you won't feel the strap under your butt is when you sit all the way forward against the gas tank. Nobody likes riding in that position all the time, so we've already ordered a replacement seat. I'm sure there's people out there who don't like the aesthetics of this bike, but I think it looks really good. It was getting compliments before we even left the dealership, and it got more as the day went on. It looks like a serious off-roader, it has a cool looking headlight setup, the graphics are pretty bitchin', and the windshield makes it look more like its adventure bike big brothers. Actually, we've been calling it the Baby Africa Twin because that's exactly what it looks like. Overall, I think this is a really well-made bike for its intended purpose. I'd recommend it to people who have little to no experience riding off-road because there's enough power to get around and have plenty of fun, but not enough power to catch you off guard. It's going to be easier to pick up when you drop it, maintenance will be simple, and your normie friends will think you're a badass motocrosser. Such a cool looking bike. I'll be putting out maintenance and modification videos on the CRF300L Rally in the coming months, so come back and check those out too. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for the best DIY videos on the internet. And until next time, just keep throwing money at it.